Giant typography, huge cursors, aesthetic colors, geometrical shapes. Brutalism has become increasingly popular in recent years. Some love it, some hate it, but there's no denying that sometimes we just can't pass by some examples of brutalist design. So where did it come from? What does it have in common with Boston City Hall? And should you turn to it for your next project? Let's find out. It was back in 2014 when the very first examples of brutalist design started to flood the web. In response to their growing popularity, there started emerging resources like BrutalistWebsites.com, BrutalistWeb.design, BrutalistFramework.com, and others that will give you an extensive guideline on brutalist design, present you a selection of brutalist websites, and even help you to build one on your own. It's hard to clearly define the features of this style, but some recurring characteristics of brutalism in web design are asymmetry, broken hierarchy, broken grids and typography, big and bold fonts, geometrical shapes, overlapping elements, white solid borders, hard shadows, solid backgrounds, bright colors. Sometimes they're right in your face, sometimes more gentle and subtle, but let's admit it, not all of these are always pleasing to the eye. So why is brutalism getting so much attention right now? Let's look into its origins to find the answer. Back to Boston City Hall. It's one of the most prominent examples of the buildings that resulted from the architectural movement, which shares the name with the popular web design trend. The term brutalism first appeared as a name of an architectural style and comes from the French language. Brutalist buildings are big gray blocks of concrete, following plainly simple geometrical and modular structure. This style emerged to oppose the architectural trends of the past, with all their pretentious pillars, ornaments, and fancy design. Those grey blocky giants were built in huge numbers in the 50s and the 60s, until the popularity of brutalism faded away, only to come back years later, reflected not only in architecture but in other art forms and media. Brutalism on the modern web embodies a protest against polished, minimalistic, and thought-through designs. It creates a cozy atmosphere of chaos and brings a feeling of nostalgia for the times when we only started discovering the internet. On top of that, with our attention span progressively getting shorter, shocking the user with ugly and chaotic design helps to make them hang around a little bit longer. Another reason why this trend attracts so many designers is because it gives you that kind of creative freedom which you don't normally get. With brutalism, you're allowed to do pretty much anything you want, there are almost no rules to follow, and you're free to experiment with form, content, and presentation in the most unexpected and bold ways. So when should you go for brutalism in your design? Well, there are many aspects that we take into account when developing the website's look. That's why if something like brutalist design will suit the identity and the vibe of the brand, you should definitely go for it. But it's better to play it safe when working on commercial projects, because the purpose of a commercial website is to be as clear, concise, and accessible for all the users as possible, so it's better to stay away from risky decisions. But if you're really careful with the choices you make, you can incorporate brutalism in a pretty neat way, like Bloomberg did. And if you want to go full-blown brutalism, pick the projects that are appropriate. Examples: your personal portfolio, a creative agency or a studio website, a blog about 80s-style video games, or pages for some seasonal or one-time events that need to go viral and attract a lot of attention over a short period of time. So keep this trend or ditch it. Let us know in the comments how long do you think it will last. To see more brutalist websites, follow the links in the description and check out TemplateMonster.com, which is pretty much a digital supermarket full of everything a web developer, a web designer, or a graphic designer might need. We have a bunch of brutalist websites there too, so go and have a look. Meanwhile, thank you for watching, hit the like button and subscribe if you liked the video, and let us know what other hot design trends you'd like to see a video about. Cheers!